Imagine this. An 84-year-old woman, sharp, independent, and deeply loved by her famous daughter, is driven home after a normal family dinner. The car pulls away, the door closes. Just minutes later, in the dead of night, someone smashes the security cameras with chilling precision, knowing exactly where they were mounted. A doorbell camera captures a masked, armed figure approaching. Blood is later found on the doorstep. The back doors are found propped open the next morning, and Nancy Guthrie simply vanishes. Over 2 months later, her daughter, Savannah, the beloved co-anchor of the Today Show, returns to the desk with a heavy heart, still pleading for answers. Mysterious ransom-style notes demanding Bitcoin keep arriving at TMZ, one even claiming Nancy was seen alive in Mexico. A family vehicle is towed away and held for weeks, being completely disassembled and reassembled. The FBI is deeply involved, yet the case remains unsolved. How does a routine evening turn into one of the most disturbing disappearances of 2026? Was it a random burglary gone wrong, or something far more calculated? Tonight, we're pulling apart every layer: the critical drop-off window, the car that authorities won't let go, the explosive timestamps that could change everything, and the silent digital witness that might finally reveal the truth. Welcome back to Real Horror, the place where we go beyond the headlines to examine the evidence, the timelines, and the questions that keep investigators and all of us up at night. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on cases like this one. And if you're already part of the community, drop a like right now and tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? Arizona, New York, or somewhere across the world following this international story? Let's begin where everything seemed perfectly ordinary before it became anything but. It was towards the end of the day on January 31st, 2026. Nancy Guthrie, an elderly but still very sharp and independent woman, left her home in the Catalina foothills area near Tucson to have dinner at her daughter's house. This wasn't unusual. Family gatherings like this were a familiar routine. The distance was short, just a few minutes by car between two homes that had always stayed closely connected. That evening unfolded like so many others before it. A shared meal, easy conversations, perhaps some light games, or simply the comfort of being together. No one in that room could have imagined that this night would mark the last confirmed normal moments for Nancy. Everything pointed to a routine return home the next morning, following her usual schedule. But as the evening wound down, Nancy was driven back to her own residence. The car that brought her home pulled away shortly afterward. There was only a very brief window, mere minutes, but that short period has become the most scrutinized moment in the entire investigation. This was the last time anyone could definitively place Nancy inside her home. Door sensors and any available recording devices in the vicinity aligned with this timeline. The door closed, the car departed, and from that exact point onward, a gap opened in the record. A gap of several hours that, to this day, remains largely unexplained. That gap is at the heart of this entire case. What happened in those crucial hours after the family left? Who might have approached the property under the cover of darkness, and why did the security measures fail so completely? The next morning, when Nancy didn't appear for her usual appointment, she missed a virtual church service or regular check-in, alarm bells rang immediately. Family members, deeply concerned, headed over. What they found raised immediate and terrifying red flags. According to detailed reports, including Savannah Guthrie's own emotional interview, the back doors, plural, were found propped open. These weren't typical sliding glass doors. They had windows, kind of like pane glass, on the upper portions. Savannah's sister Annie and her brother-in-law Tomasso were among those who arrived and noted the unusual state of the property. From early drone footage and on-the-ground observations, there were at least 3 doors visible on the backside, one possibly linked to the garage and others to the main house. Blood was reportedly found on the doorstep, and almost right away authorities were called. The area was secured, Specialized units moved in. The FBI confirmed they were treating this as a criminal matter, a suspected abduction. Evidence response vans appeared. Dark-tinted vehicles showed up. The home was processed as a potential crime scene. One of the most striking early details, the cameras. Multiple cameras, plural, had been smashed. Not just malfunctioning, but intentionally damaged in a way that suggested the perpetrator had specific knowledge of their locations. This wasn't random vandalism. It pointed to someone who had scouted or understood the surveillance setup. A recovered doorbell camera even captured a masked, armed figure approaching the front door before tampering with it. Savannah later described seeing that footage as absolutely terrifying, saying she couldn't imagine her mother facing that figure. As the investigation ramped up, people in the surrounding neighborhood were canvassed. Tips poured in by the thousands. Neighbors' ring cameras captured vehicles passing in the early morning hours, including one heading south at around 2:36 a.m. on February 1st. Two vehicles became central to the analysis. The first was Nancy's own car, later retrieved and eventually returned to the family after inspection. But the second vehicle told a far more complicated story. This was the car connected to the last confirmed drop-off of Nancy, the one linked to her relatives, specifically associated with Annie Guthrie. That car was towed away early on. It was impounded, sealed, and subjected to thorough forensic examination. And unlike Nancy's vehicle, it didn't come back quickly. Weeks turned into more than 2 months. Reports indicated it was still being held at a local technical facility, being systematically disassembled and then reassembled piece by piece. Why the extended hold? Investigators don't tear a vehicle down to its components for a routine check. They do it when they're hunting for trace evidence, hidden items, or most importantly, rich digital log data that can reconstruct every movement. An investigative journalist and sources close to the process noted the car remained under authority control. Reassembly suggests the deep forensic phase was nearing completion, yet delays persisted, with mentions of electronic system issues during data extraction that required repairs. But in a case this serious, retention often goes beyond technical problems. It can be about preserving every byte of data for potential court use or to cross-reference with other leads. Let's talk about what that vehicle could truly reveal. Modern cars are rolling computers. The system runs constantly, logging precise location, route, speed, acceleration, stops, door openings and closings, even Bluetooth pairings or navigation inputs. It doesn't rely on human memory. It captures raw, time-stamped facts in real time. If that car left Nancy's home after the drop-off and remains stationary somewhere else for the critical hours, or shows no return to the area, that data could provide powerful confirmation or elimination. Early in the case, statements indicated certain family members were not under suspicion, with emphasis on cooperation and necessary tests. Many wondered what allowed such swift clearance. Could the vehicle's telematics data have provided an objective timeline that removed doubt almost immediately? On the other hand, any anomaly in the logs, unexplained stops, prior movements near the property, or inconsistencies would open new lines of inquiry. This brings us to the question that few asked loud enough at first. Why is this particular car still being held after all this time? Is it purely technical repairs, or is the data inside serving as a silent, unbiased witness that can't be swayed by emotion or pressure? A former tactical commander and seasoned investigators emphasized that the goal is always to build a picture so solid there's almost no room for doubt. When evidence is kept longer than usual, it's rarely accidental. It suggests ongoing value. Now, let's layer in the 3 specific timelines that authorities have examined closely but haven't been fully connected publicly. These aren't vague guesses.
One stems from disruptions in the monitoring systems, possibly when the cameras went offline or tampered with. Another marks apparent movement or activity near the property in the preceding period. A third involves the loss of connection from Nancy's medical device, her pacemaker, linked to a monitoring app, around the early morning hours of February 1st, suggesting it moved beyond signal range. All three point not only to the night itself, but to a preceding period. Patterns on weekends leading up to the event, repeated presence in the vicinity at similar times. In behavioral analysis, this screams reconnaissance, learning routines, noting when the house might be quiet after family leaves, identifying weak points in security, like which doors, where cameras are mounted. If someone was watching long enough, the night in question wasn't random, it was chosen. The propped open doors, the precise camera sabotage, the short window after the family departed, all could fit a planned operation rather than a spur-of-the-moment crime. The last visible person in the timeline often draws initial attention. That's natural.
But if pre-planning the sequence itself could be designed to mislead investigators. Think about it. An independent elderly woman left alone after a familiar family dinner. Doors left in an unusual state. Cameras neutralized with insider-like knowledge. A pacemaker signal was lost. And then, nothing. This case exploded into international attention because of Nancy Guthrie's high profile. She has spoken movingly about her mother, offered a $1 million reward for information leading to Nancy's safe return, and even made an emotional Easter message through her church while the search continued. Savannah returned to the Today Show in early April 2026, showing remarkable strength, telling viewers it is good to be home, as her co-anchors offered support. Her sister Annie and brother-in-law Tomasso have been seen at the property, leaving flowers at a growing memorial. Early rumors, including unverified claims about specific family members, were pushed back against. Law enforcement has remained careful, naming no official suspects publicly. The investigation continues, with homicide units and the FBI working leads. The home has been processed multiple times. One additional chilling element: multiple ransom-style communications have surfaced, including notes sent to TMZ offering information about Nancy in exchange for Bitcoin. Some arrived even after Savannah's return to work. While credibility varies and hoaxes are common in such cases, authorities take every one seriously. As we move deeper into the evidence, that impounded car isn't just metal and electronics, it's a potential timeline anchor. Data that doesn't lie, doesn't forget, and can't be easily altered. If its logs show the driver went straight home and stayed put, it protects the innocent and sharply narrows the focus elsewhere, to unknown persons of interest, other vehicles in the area that night, or patterns from the days prior. Experts note that when one lead is clearly eliminated, all attention shifts to what remains unexplained. Other movements, unknown vehicles. The gaps in the map become the new targets. The car wasn't seized by force in every account. Consent played a role initially, signaling cooperation, but also a deliberate need to verify details without immediate probable cause. This is where the story grows even more complex. Was there preparation over multiple days or weekends? Scouting that allowed the perpetrator to target cameras precisely and exploit the quiet moments after family gatherings? If the three timestamps align on pre-event surveillance, then February 1st becomes the culmination of a longer plan, not a spontaneous act. Sources indicated Nancy Guthrie's vehicle, or the one used for the drop-off, remained at a facility for an extended period, over 2 months in some reports. It was being disassembled systematically, every panel, every electronic module, every trace examined. Then reassembly began. This stage usually signals that the heavy forensic lifting is done, yet delays persisted, with mentions of electronic malfunctions needing fixes. But in investigations involving potential abduction or worse, keeping a vehicle means the data extracted,
GPS logs, event data recorder like a black box for cars, Bluetooth pairings, navigation history is still being cross-referenced with other evidence. Imagine what it records: precise timestamps of when doors opened at Nancy's home, when the vehicle left, its speed and route afterward, and he stops and he restarts. If it matches the family's account perfectly and shows no suspicious detours, it clears that vector early. Law enforcement did issue statements relatively quickly that certain family members were not suspects. Data like this could be the reason: objective, time-stamped, tamper-resistant. Conversely, any discrepancy would pivot the focus.
A return of the car with statements or a breakthrough, we'll cover it promptly. Thank you for joining us through this exhaustive look at the Nancy Guthrie case. If this helped you understand the layers most coverage skips, like and subscribe. Share with fellow true crime enthusiasts. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and let's hope for resolution and justice.